Human evolution is a fantasy, but that is exactly what I am telling you. As a world...
Where's your sidekick, Taggart? 6 months ago, Seraph Industries was attacked by mercenaries whose objective was to cripple our research. But I've learned the attack was just a smokescreen. Megan Reed's team was kidnapped, and Isaiah Sandoval, your personal aide, was involved.
That is ridiculous. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for Mr. Jensen's intrusion, and I assure you that these accusations are without basis.
Are they?
This is Sandoval. Why are you calling me here?
There's been a change of plans. Seraph's team must not make it to the hearing.
But that's too soon. If you want me to remove the GPLs, I'll need a full operating suite. Does the facility have one?
That's your man, Taggart. Talking about removing implanted GPL devices so that the people who took Seraph scientists could cover it up.
I see what's going on here. Seraph Industries has received 2 black eyes in the last few days. The first, due to the shocking news coming out of Montreal that biotech companies are secretly participating in unethical super soldier experiments. And the second, as a result of their violent escalation of today's peaceful protest. David Seraph and his corporate bedfellows are desperate and in imminent danger of losing the regulation vote, so this man has been sent here to attack my reputation.
I'm right here, Taggart. Look at me. I admit, I wouldn't feel bad if your reputation was damaged in front of the press, since you've been doing the same to my colleagues for years. But that's not why I'm here. Seraph scientists are alive, and it's time for the truth to come out.
The truth, Mr. Jensen, is that this recording of yours proves nothing. It could have been made by anyone in the world with a grudge against Humanity Front, and you are our prime suspect.
You got a lot of nerve to accuse me of lying. I'm not the one standing in front of a crowd of people hiding my involvement in kidnapping and murder.
My involvement, Mr. Jensen? Your recording doesn't prove that. I know why you came here instead of taking your recording to the police. I know the real reason for your accusations, and you're not entirely to blame for what you're doing. It is common, after trauma such as the one you suffered, to fixate on the event, to stay blocked in the past. In a word, you're obsessed.
I can worry about myself later. What's really important now is the 5 innocent people whose lives were stolen from them during that attack. Sandoval knows where they are. Now, where is he?
I don't want to see anyone's lives stolen from them. What is it you're truly looking for here? Absolution? A return to the feeling of control you lost when your limbs were taken from you? Do you think coming here today and casting me as your enemy will help you achieve that?
I don't have to make you my enemy, Taggart. Your actions speak for themselves. You started the anti-augmentation movement, and now anti-augmentation terrorist groups are making headlines every day. You always say Humanity Front isn't violent. But look outside. We're seeing proof that it is.
I speak out against it, but I just can't get it to stop. I founded Humanity Front to prevent others from suffering the way I suffered after an augmentation addict murdered my wife. I did it to reduce the amount of violence in this world, but you cannot understand such an approach. That's why you falsely claim my people are involved in terrorist acts. You're mistaken and you're lying.
What happened to your wife was tragic. But what's happening to Sarif's scientist is going on right now, and you have a chance to do something about it. You have nothing to lose if Sandoval's innocent. And if he isn't, you can preserve your reputation by helping me. Why won't you do that?
Because I just can't believe Isaiah would be guilty of this, but you're right. Whether he's guilty or not, I have to get to the truth. Marjorie would want it that way. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize, but I'm going to have to beg your indulgence for a few moments more. If you will all please remain patient, I will return as soon as I can. Thank you. Mr. Jensen, I'll see you backstage.
Controversial satellite footage uncovered by Picus. Detroit, Toronto, Mumbai...
Mr. Jensen, I appreciate you allowing me to deal with this in a more discreet manner.
Save it, Taggart. You've wasted enough of my time as it is. Now, where's Sandoval?
He has an apartment he uses when in this city, on Grand River Road. He mentioned he was feeling very run down, so I can only assume he went there.
I see.
He's not an evil man, Mr. Jensen. If he's done what you say, it's only because of his brother, Ezekiel. A man you might know better as Zeke Sanders.
Sanders? The man who attacked Sarah's manufacturing plant?
I knew nothing about it until after it was over, and then I tried. I tried to convince Isaiah not to follow in his footsteps.
Good job.
Mr. Jensen, please. Isaiah has done so much for so many needy people, people suffering from implant rejection. Promise me you will deal with him fairly.
That all depends on Isaiah.
I understand, but please try.
This is Eliza Cassan, reporting to you live from Picus.
Patch me through. Jensen? I almost didn't recognize you. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, what are the chances? Do you remember me? I was a rookie when you still rolled in SWAT.
Nikki. Of course I remember you. How you been? The brass got you on ride control too?
Yeah, I am. Or I was until... Damn it. Look, something big is going down, and I'm kind of freaking out here. You remember that MCBer, Jacob White? You busted him a couple of times.
Yeah, I remember him. Assault and possession. He's still running rackets?
No, I mean, yeah, shit, I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter, because he's moved on to bigger things.
Nikki, slow down.
Listen, hear me out. I just got word he has his hands on some real military-grade explosives. The prick's got a fucking bomb, Adam. And you know how much he hates the PD. He's going to hit us while we have our pants down with the riots. You gotta help us out here.
Nikki, I'm kind of busy. If he's got a bomb, just call it in and follow procedure.
What do you think I've been doing? I've been on the horn all night, and my CO already sent a patrol over to Jacob's house. We've got a warrant, so they searched the place, but nothing came up, not even Jacob. Now they're saying my CI is probably full of shit and just fucking with me. Bullshit! Jacob's using the riots as cover, and he's going to hit us, and hit us hard. Adam, I need you to trust me on this. You gotta help me find Jacob.
I have to admit, Nikki, I'm having a hard time believing White could come up with something like this. He can barely tie his own shoelaces without tripping all over himself.
That was then. This is now. After his last stint in Standish, he got bug-eyed crazy. Started talking about how the gang war in Derelict Row was all part of a government plot, and it's time he did something about it.
I remember him saying that augmented kid we took down last year was a cover-up.
Exactly. And he's been railing against Wayne Haas, the PD, and anyone else involved in that ever since. I'm telling you, Adam, he's been getting more and more violent. Now he's got explosives, and we've got a giant bullseye painted on our ass.
So why is it nobody trusts your source?
He used to run with White's old crew, but he's a 3-strike pert facing a dime on some damn parole violation. He's trying to cop a deal, so nobody trusts him. Thing is, I know he's reliable. He hasn't bullshitted me yet, and I don't think he's doing it now.
How did White even manage to get his hands on explosives?
My source says he got the bomb materials from some government stash out in Highland Park. It's all I know so far. But it all fits! He was last seen ranting at a rally about shattering the foundation of the hypocrisy or some bullshit like that. You know, quoting Che Guevara and talking about violent revolution.
Did he have the shirt, too?
What? Anyway, he practically named the date and time of this reckoning. And it's tonight. It has to be.
What is it exactly that you need me to do?
You mean you'll help me out? Really?
I didn't say that. Assuming I did agree to help, what would you need me to do exactly?
Oh. Well, based on Jacob's history and his new political agenda, I can almost guarantee he's going after cops. I've warned everyone working street detail and anyone else who'd listen to keep an eye out. But with half the force tied up with the protests and rioting, I can't get the manpower for a proper search. I need you to check a few spots my CI thinks Jacob could be at, and take care of the threat if you can. Even if you find nothing, great. It put my mind at ease, at least.
Fine, I'll help. Let's go over what we know. Just the facts.
What we know? Just the facts? What we know is he's certified batshit crazy, hates cops, quotes Che Guevara, and got his hands on military-grade explosives. What more do you need to know? Oh, Christ, man. I've got nobody to help me, and I can't even breathe. How am I supposed to find this guy? The bomb could be right under us, right now!
Nikki, relax. Keep it together.
I'm trying, Adam. I don't think I'm cut out for this kind of stuff. People could die. We could die.
Just focus, okay? We know that White hates cops, so his first target is probably gonna be the precinct or somewhere nearby. Make sense?
Yeah, okay. But it could be anywhere. He wouldn't risk going to the precinct. Too many people would recognize him. That leaves the transit station, the sewers, and the alleys around the precinct. Look, I need to stay here and report any leads to my CO. Can you check those locations for Jacob? Or his bomb?
No problem. Anything else you can give me?
I don't know. You remember what White looks like, right? Tall, Caucasian, skinhead? He's not the quietest guy, so you'll probably hear him before you see him.
Yeah, a real philosopher king. I remember.
Yeah, so if you just keep your eyes and ears open, I'm sure you'll find him. Also, I heard he's had some major augmentation work done. I'd be extra careful around him. I think the White we used to know has been replaced with something much worse.
Got it.
I know it's a long shot, but I'm hoping we get backup to expand the search. In the meantime, we can check those areas, and who knows, maybe we'll catch a break. Oh, and Jensen, please don't turn him into a martyr. I'd prefer him breathing.
It's just embarrassing, really. Like anyone can walk into the precinct and take whatever they want.
I know. What if this wasn't the first time? Some gang leader out here could have profiles of every cop on the force. They may even know where we live.
As long as the media doesn't get hold of
Don't
this.
get your panties in a bunch if you get hung up on. If we detect even the slightest suspicious fluctuation in signal, we have to shut you down. The World Order and their team of expert hackers could be trying to track us. That's why we have to create an overt oversight for everything.
Access granted.
I really appreciate you helping us out, Adam, but we're running out of time. We gotta find White before he blows something up.
We're in the clear. I left White unconscious in the sewers under the precinct.
Thank God. The chief finally took me seriously and is sending some men to help out. We'll take it from here.
Great. Anything else?
Oh, and it isn't much, but take this. The cops have a Deadpool going. I don't like it, but you take down a cop killer and you get a bounty, and that sort of thing. I usually reserve this to pay off our CIs, but I think you earned it. I threw in a little something extra for bringing him in alive. It's good to know you're still one of the good guys, Jensen.
By the way, Nikki, White's bomb wasn't even explosive. It was a gas bomb. I managed to disable it, but you might want to get a disposal team down there to do a proper sweep and clean.
Ah, shit! I totally forgot about that. I'll get EOD on it right away. Last thing we need are more casualties. Man, I'm sure glad I bumped into you tonight. You're gonna have to let me buy you a pint down at Maggie's sometime. If I hang around you long enough, maybe some of that famous Jensen swagger will rub off on me.
Yeah, we'll do that sometime. Take care of yourself, Nikki.
Nora 92 to Central. Come in, Central. Over.
Nora 92, this is Central. Over.
That code 10 I called in earlier. It's actually gas ordnance. We need EOD down there for cleanup. Stat. Tell first response to keep their hands off, and we should quarantine the block just to be sure. Over.
10-4, Nora 92. Thanks for the heads up. Stand by for updates. Central out.
You sure you closed the door?
Yeah. Of course I did. What do you think I am? An idiot?
You're not gonna make me answer that, are you?
Access granted.
Pritchard, looks like Sandoval's got a secret bunker. I'm gonna flush him out.
Let's hope he's still there.
Why do we always get assigned to the shittiest spots?
Yeah, why would anyone come down here?
I think they're afraid someone's gonna try to sneak a bomb into the Doc's locker.
I'd be more worried about what's in the Doc's head than what's in his locker.
And this is why I urge every member of my staff, every man and woman dedicated to the true mission of the Humanity Front, to do the same. I say yes. If you're watching this, I beg you, do not allow misplaced anger to destroy everything we have struggled to achieve.
It's over. He knows I can't come back from that.
Everybody knows, Sandoval. You can't hide from what you've done.
What I've done, Mr. Jensen. I spent years patching people back together from augmentation botch jobs and systemic organ rejection brought on by implants. And now, because of Bill's betrayal, I'll never practice medicine again.
You really want to help someone? Tell me where Sarif's scientists are.
I wish I could, Mr. Jensen. But my involvement ended right after I failed to remove their GPLs.
You failed?
Turns out, my surgical skills weren't good enough to bypass David Sarif's insurance policy. So for all I know, those little implants are broadcasting right now. On a frequency so low your network specialist wouldn't think to look for it.
You changed the frequencies.
You have your answers, Mr. Jensen. And I've lost all of mine. The courts may think I have much to atone for, but my court will be a higher one.
How about I take that gun with me when I go?
You got everything you came for. Please, just leave.
Believe it or not, I'd rather you didn't kill yourself.
That's because you have no idea what tortures I've endured. The guilt, the shame. I was told the scientists would be used to find a peaceful solution to the augmentation crisis. Instead, I was involved in kidnapping and murder. My life ended that night. It's time for me to go.
Think about it. Are you really in such a hurry to face that higher court of yours?
At least there are no lies before God. Did you see that abominable press conference? William Taggart all but accused me of terrorism. He claimed that all the violence committed in the name of our cause was the result of my influence.
So stay alive long enough to tell him your side of the story.
He already knows it isn't true. I trusted that man. For years I gave him loyal service, and he betrayed me. He sacrificed my freedom and good name to save the reputation of his organization. It's no use fighting him. He'll just spin it again. At least if I die, he'll never be able to use me again.
So that's your plan? Just lay down and die so you can't be used again? That's bullshit. You need to face what's coming. There's a very thin line between martyr and victim, Sandoval. And if you pull the trigger, you won't be remembered as either.
You certainly like taking chances, Mr. Jensen. But your point has merit. Maybe I did give up too easily. It wasn't enough to be a doctor. Or to attack the infection at its source with Humanity Front. I had to try harder to help people, and I pushed too far. What else could I have done? How do people live in a world surrounded by human misery every day? Or am I the only person who feels this way? Give it up, Mr. Jensen.
I hear what you're saying. You care too much. I know what that's like. Too well. Because I've been there. You want to fix everything right away. You want it so much you start trying too hard. Trust me, if you deal with the smaller, easier stuff first, the big things don't look so big.
I've heard that before. It has more meaning somehow, coming from someone like you. Huh. Some doctor. Some Catholic I turned out to be. Planning and participating in a kidnapping that resulted in the deaths of innocent bystanders. I am a mass murderer. My wife, I don't deserve her. Losing her is a just punishment, except I'm not man enough to face it. Give it up, Mr. Jensen.
You keep throwing out excuses for why killing yourself is the right thing to do, but the truth is you're lazy and scared and you want the easy way out. At least be honest with yourself. All the reasons you've given so far are nothing but bullshit. You and I both know suicide is a coward's act.
Yes, you smug bastard. I admit it. I'm a coward. I want an end to the torments I've been living with these last few months. And if you think you could do any better, think again. Here, take the gun. I may still be a coward tomorrow, but I'll be damned if I'm going to prove it in front of you today.
Pritchard, get this. The GPLs are still transmitting. Sandoval switched them to a lower frequency.
But they could be broadcasting anywhere in the world. I don't have the type of equipment we'll need to find them.
It's our only lead, Pritchard. You have to do something.
I know. Listen, the riot's still blocking the street entrance. Head back to your apartment and Malik will fly you over. Maybe by the time you get here, I'll have figured out something.
Outside the doors of such well-known biotechnology firms as Kusanagi.
Nice detective work, Jensen. You ready to return to HQ?
Yeah. Let's hope Pritchard's found that frequency.
You said it.